What's up, Justin here. Got another stack of CDs, the CD collection. We're into the D's. First up, we are listening to Moonblood. This is Fullmoon Witchery. Moonblood is a German black metal band, was a German black metal band. They existed through the 90s and a little bit into the 2000s. I think they broke up around 04. 2 members. They have a bunch of demos and rehearsal tapes and only one full length. Fullmoon Witchery, I don't know if this is official or not, but I'd have to go and research they have just an immense discography. But Moonblood played really, really grim black metal, really melodic kind of Norse riffs like Dark Throne, but everything just has this layer of grime over it. It's just the perfect, just grim black metal atmosphere. They're one of my absolute favorite black metal bands of all time. I got into them probably around 01 or 02, and anytime I see anything by Moonblood, I snatch it up. I've got a few of their tapes, but a few years ago, Iron Bonehead put out a box set of, I don't know if it's everything, but it's a lot of their material. But if you like just grim, nasty black metal, tons of really melodic riffs, but super, super raw, check out Moonblood. I'll put a link to this below. Okay, into the CDs. First up, we have Dark Funeral. Dark Funeral's a little polarizing. They kind of fall into that shiny pants black metal. You know, they're a little bigger. They're on the cusp of being more accessible. But Dark Funeral's been around forever. Their first album, The Secrets of the Black Arts, I fucking adore. I love that record. I don't have it on CD though. I had a CD a long time ago. Don't know what happened to it, but I bought the LP along the way, so I have it on LP. Have it on vinyl. I have this EP, Teach Children to Worship Satan. It's 5 songs. It's but I think 3 of these or 4 of these are covers. There's a Mayhem cover and a Slayer cover, but not much to go by there. This Diabolus in Terram, this came out in 01, and this was either the 2nd or 3rd album. I got this for review when I worked for deadtide.com. So there's a review of this somewhere out there that I wrote. This came out on Necropolis. I think this record is when they really turned the tide. Oh, look, Secrets of the Black Arts. I have a CDR copy stuck in the middle of this. And a little paper booklet. What do you know? This is when they really turned the tide and went from being kind of this grim, raw black metal band to being much more accessible sounding. Polished production, polished artwork, perfect corpse paint, lots of spikes, and they became characters rather than just guys in a black metal band. And then after this, I ignored them. I ignored them for a long time until year before last they put this out. Where Shadows Forever Reign. So this album is just a throwback to their early sound. It's a little grimmer, it's a little darker, it's not as melodic, it's not as like upbeat as some of their other stuff was. It's not as formulaic. It sounds like it could have been recorded in the 90s, and this version is a giant upside down cross. Packaging like this is just fucking obnoxious. So like when I'm in my car trying to unfold this shit to put the fucking CD in, why? But when I see some stupid version like this, I have to buy it. So I bought this over the regular version, the regular CD. I can't even put the fucking thing back together right. So anyway, that's fucking obnoxious. But this record is a great throwback to Secrets of the Black Arts. It looks like Secrets of the Black Arts. Same artist. They brought Necrolord back out for this one. Necrolord, if you don't know, he's painted tons of black metal covers. he paints in all these monochromatic schemes. But this record's fucking good. It's just good, riffy, you know, melodic, kind of by the numbers black metal. But man, I really like Dark Funeral, and I've come back around to them on this record. But the first one and this one I fucking love. So, next up we have 2 CDs by Dark Tranquillity. Dark Tranquillity, of course, is a Swedish death metal band, melodic Swedish death metal band. Now they've got a ton of releases, and the only 2 I have are Skydancer. And I think Skydancer is either the first or second record. I don't remember. Now inside here, this is the disc to the record, The Gallery. And when The Gallery came out, they did these CD editions, and I still have the package. It's a 10-inch record sleeve with a cardboard slide out with a CD button on it. Well, the CD button broke, so I put the disc in here, and the sleeve for it is on my record shelf. It's really cool, and I think they're pretty rare now these days, but there's no way for the CD to hold on to it. Anyway, Dark Tranquillity in the early days, they were really melodic. They weren't as in your face as somebody like At the Gates or bands that they were doing that kind of super melodic death metal thing that influenced tons of bands in the early 2000s. I'm not as crazy about this material and don't know it as well as I do this, The Mind's Eye. Now, The Mind's Eye it's really melodic, it's really fucking riffy, it's really melancholic, though. There's kind of this romanticism to the music. But this record is just riff after riff, just that sweet spot in between like the 5th and 12th frets on the guitar. Just beauty, just beautiful fucking riffs. And the 4th song in here is Scythe, Rage, and Roses. The opening riff in that song is my favorite Swedish death metal riff of all time. I fucking love this record. I may do a 5-minute favorites on it. I don't know. We'll see. I got a bunch of other stuff lined up for that series. After this record and after The Gallery, they got way more just kind of bad. I mean, it wasn't death metalish anymore. It was more just kind of like death. They were more rock sounding, hard rock sounding, more chunky and processed and industrial tinged, and I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they do now. They've got a bunch of records, and I haven't listened to any of them in 15 years. So, but I really, really, really like The Mind's Eye and The Gallery, and I like this one a good bit, but I haven't listened to it in a long, long time. Next, we have Dark Space with Dark Space 3. If you can read that, I don't know if that'll show up or not. Dark Space is a black metal band. I don't know much about them. I picked this up when I saw it used. That's all there is to the booklet. There's no song titles. There's no nothing. There's just that picture. I remember seeing their name around a lot. They're kind of cult. They have kind of this spacey theme. And when I grabbed this used somewhere, I think I got this at Ultrasound Records in Cleveland, Ohio, or near Cleveland. I'm not crazy about this. It wasn't what I expected when I put it on, and I was expecting something more grim, but more kind of like Odium, or something almost like Passage d'Iva or something like that. But I don't like this, and I've tried listening to it several times. But I'll throw it on again, we'll see. I'll put a link in the description below, like I do everything. Next, we have, The Darkness with Permission to Land. So The Darkness is a band from England. They're kind of like a throwback, kind of 70s, like arena rock and roll band. And they have a song on here called, I Believe in a Thing Called Love. And this came out around 2001, I guess. 2001, 2002. 2003. So when this came out, that song was fucking everywhere, and it's really catchy, and it's a novelty. It's pure novelty. And a buddy of mine bought me this for Christmas, and I don't think I've ever listened to the whole thing. Because when you've got an album like this, it's got this really killer kind of novelty song on it. Nothing else on the record holds up. And it's just a silly fucking... I'm sure they're still around, you know, playing clubs now or something. But I could care less. I could not care less, by the way. It's I could not care less is the saying. So, this is a comp called Dark Side of the Underground, and Dark Side is spelled all fucking obnoxious. Don't ask me why. This is still sealed. I don't know where I got this. It has that David Caspar Friedrich painting on it that every fucking band has used. Stop using this painting. And this has a bunch of bands I have never heard of on it. Heard of Haymoth? Okay, Eternal Suffering, that's Wayne's old band. Gut Rot, brutal death metal band. Dislim, Unhallowed. So there's some kind of like doom death on here, and some like brutal death metal, and some black metal. So this is on Dark Side Music, also spelled really obnoxious. Made in Canada, that's all it says. Don't know. Don't care. I'll try to find this comp on YouTube and post it. Okay, so last up in this round, we have the progenitors, the kings of all things black metal, Darkthrone. I'm a pretty big Darkthrone fan. Darkthrone is one of the first black metal bands I got into. You know, their name is synonymous with black metal. When I got into black metal in the mid-90s, it was Darkthrone and Burzum and Mayhem and Emperor. And, you know, those are the bands that you were presented with and you got into. And I've always liked Darkthrone. Now, I only own these 4 CDs. I have Transylvanian Hunger, A Blaze in the Northern Sky, Sardonic Wrath, which is a later record, and then Preparing for War, which is a compilation. And then I have Transylvanian Hunger and A Blaze in the Northern Sky on vinyl, a couple of others. My favorite Darkthrone record is Panzerfaust, and I don't own it. I have had a digital version on my computer for probably 15 years, and it's just one of those that, like, it's never been in front of me to pick up and buy. I need to really fucking think about it the next time I'm buying stuff and buy a copy of Panzerfaust. Anyway, if you listen to black metal, there's no reason you shouldn't know who Darkthrone is. Now, I get that you may not like them, but you owe it to them for what they did for black metal. You know, they're a cornerstone. There would be no Moonblood, Moonthorn. That's a good black metal band name. I bet you there's a Moonthorn out there. I'll look that up. Anyway, they're probably terrible. There'd be no Moonblood if there wasn't Darkthrone. They're fucking ground zero for a big part of what black metal, second wave black metal sounds like. And they're just, these early records, you know, Transylvanian Hunger, Blaze in the Northern Sky, Under Funeral Moon, they're just fucking grim and raw and nasty, but they laid the groundwork for everything to come. I mean, the artwork, the logo, everything goes back to Darkthrone. So I'm a big fan. I've been into them for a really, really long time. I still listen to Darkthrone with regularity. The atmosphere on those early records. And not to discount Soulside Journey, which I also don't own. It's a death metal record. It's great. But when they evolved into what they became on these early records, it's just perfect. Grim, raw, cold, nasty black metal. The atmosphere is just a nasty, rancid miasma that fills the room when you listen to them. And after Sardonic Wrath, I kind of, as they progressed, they got a little cleaner. They got a little thicker. The songwriting came together. There's not these long, meandering songs anymore. And then they put out the crusty punk records. They put out the heavy metal records. They pulled it back in a little bit with the last one, and I've lost interest. But I'll never discount this stuff. You know, I'll never. I owe, you know, a lot of my black metal upbringing. Here's another one of these giant, obnoxious digipacks. Fuck, man. You know, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I wouldn't be talking to you if it weren't for this band. I love Darkthrone, and you should too. Regardless of what they've become, but there's a mythology there. There's a story. And we owe it as black metal fans and black metal musicians a handshake and a pat on the back for, you know, and they may not accept that, you know. Fenrir he's a character, but you know, they're important. They're real important to what we do and what we listen to, and I can't thank them enough. So I love Darkthrone. That's it for this stack. We got more coming up. I got several 5-minute favorites lined up. I got to start filming them. But till next time, keep commenting, keep liking, keep subscribing, and we'll keep talking about heavy metal. Talk to you guys later.